What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another stream. Oh, we went to the wrong screen, but I guess, we might as well stay on this screen. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Wednesday, September 10th. Yes, Wednesday, September 10th. Nice little perplexity beats going on in the background. Please do let me know if the music is overbearing, if it gets a little too loud for us. That's the thumbnail for today. Let me close that since we don't need it anymore. Get ready for the stream. Usually we start with a face cam shot, me talking about the market, how I did on the day, and so on. But since we're already here, why don't we dive right in and talk about the biggest mover of the day? I mean, there's probably bigger movers on the day in terms of percentages, but in terms of how big the company is and how big the move is, very, very, insane of a move overall, even though they missed the EPS and revenue estimates. And this move overall now makes Larry Ellison the most richest person in the world. Not for long. I do think once Tesla breaks out of its little channel, out of its little wedge that it's been creating, Tesla easily goes back into 400 or even 500, and then Elon is back to being the richest person in the world. But right now, man, Larry Ellison quickly climbing up the ranks today. Shout out to the 35. At one point, I believe it was even a 50% move on a large cap name such as this. So monster move. Revenue grew to 3.3 billion, a 54% growth in the revenue structure, and then on top of that, the backlog, the 1.5k% growth on that side on I think was a micro cloud. Is that the name of the cloud business? I forget what exactly the cloud business name was, but their cloud business having a pretty big backlog over there. So all across the board, showing you that AI technologies and companies are still very much in demand. NBIS, for example, that went up like a couple days ago. Today pulled back a little bit because they did do an offering in pre-market, I believe, right before the stock opened. So that brought the stock back obviously down 2.5% or more. But still showing you how much demand is there for the AI stocks. You got Nvidia breaking out, you got ARM breaking out. Most of the semiconductor stocks did go to the upside, but if I remember correctly, oh, no, okay. I remember seeing SOXX being down, but now that I remember that SOXX is actually a 3 times leverage ETF, that's not the main ETF for semiconductors. The main ETF for semiconductors is actually SMH, SOXX, and both of them giving you a pretty decent opportunity here into, one of them into 52-week highs, the other one into all-time highs. I'm pretty sure SMH is at all-time highs. Let me just zoom out a little bit. It is indeed at all-time highs. So both of these ETFs showing you that the overall sector, the semiconductor sector, one of the most important sectors for the AI race, racing against China, basically. The AI race, showing you that, even TSM broke out today to an all-time high. So across the board, you got good moves coming in. Micron being another one of them, making a rally. You have stocks that we recently mentioned on our watch list, IREN, going up 11% today. I bought IREN live in front of you on the show last night. If you guys remember, we threw out the order and we bought these shares live after hours around 5 o'clock or so. And here you have the stock now up 11%. I'm basically up 11% from last night when I bought the shares of this stock. So monster move, back-to-back 10% days, and if we remember correctly, IREN has an average daily range of 10%, so it makes sense that it's doing back-to-back 10% movers, right? So shout out to this name. Looks like this is actually a new all-time high, so just getting started. The higher we go, the more I want to protect my profits, so I'll start looking to take some exits on the pops, but still looking to hold the good chunk of my size for the bigger trade to the upside. I see John Von Sewers in the chat. He's talking about AVAV. That was another name we mentioned last night. This was an earnings name, and it indeed got above the little last week's high or this week's high that we were talking about. The last week high still yet to go test that area on AVAV. So lots of names in play, lots of stocks moving around, and we have another big watch list ready for us to go through. If there's any names that I don't have in the watch list over here, feel free to throw it in the chat. No matter what platform you're watching me on, if you're watching me on Twitch, Kick.com, YouTube, Pump Fun, whatever website you're watching me on, let me know what stocks you want me to take a look at, and we'll throw that in the watch list for you guys. Let's start with the top of the board, Oracle. Like we mentioned, Oracle went up, 50% at one point and ending around 35% up on the day, 36% up on the day. Expecting a volatile day 2 after a day like this is almost ridiculous, right? You'd be stupid, for lack of a better word, to expect the stock to trade up here after a day like today. So most likely an inside day, but the question is, what type of an inside day do we have? Are we trading below the midpoint of today, or are we trading above the midpoint of today? Another way you can look at it is, are we trading above today's VWAP, or are we trading below today's VWAP? And that will be a little bit of indication as to what might happen for the next few days. If we are trading below VWAP, possibly setting up like this while the moving averages catch up. If we're trading above VWAP, that'll make the stock a little bit more bullish, because then we'll probably have an opportunity to get long at the midpoint and have a run towards the current all-time high, or the earnings day all-time high. And this is also insane. Look at this. Oracle traded 129, basically 130 million shares today. Oracle doesn't do that very often, okay? Oracle doesn't do that very often, and this is the weekly chart. The last time Oracle traded, crazy amount of volume like that, I guess, the weekly chart kind of makes it look a lot more normal. But if you just go back on the daily chart, I mean, look, last time the stock traded, 80 million shares was pretty much the high. It's very rare to see a stock like this trade that much volume. That's December 2011. Okay, so since December 2011, we're not seeing, or this is 2013, that traded 142 million shares over there. But this was also a low price stock at that point. This was a $30 price stock, right? And then the higher the price goes, the lower the volume started to trade, and then look, barely even touching 80 million over here on that big volume day. Today, at $300 per share, and almost cracking the $1 trillion capitalization mark, you're getting 129 million shares traded on the stock. So that's given how much float this company has, that's not retail traders like you and I buying that's making the stock go up this way. That's actual buyers, investment firms, hedge funds, people with real money coming in and saying, yes, we want the stock every single dollar between this range, because we think it's going to be higher down the line, given how big of a backlog and everything else that the earnings report showcased. So just the idea of how to formulate setups for tomorrow after a big move like this. I'm not saying that this is going to start pushing back down. There are chances that it could do that, but I'm not saying that that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a dip buy into this area, for a long into this area. If this is holding, then I'm looking for a dip buy into this area, for a long into this area, and then for the swing trade, the longer we trade within this box, the better it is for the eventual breakout long side, or the eventual breakdown to the short side, or as I call it, the resolution to the downside. So just give it some time. I think given how big the range is of the stock currently, you know, $14 ATR now after today, I think you'll be able to capture a good $3, $4, $5 move by risking $1 if you're waiting at the right spot. So once again, if you're waiting down here, if you are applying the right methodology, waiting for like a backside scalp or something, when it does push into this area, you might be you could possibly get lucky by only risking, you know, $1 or so, and then you end up getting a nice move, $4 or $5 or more back into today's VWAP. So those are the trade opportunities that I'm mainly picturing, I'm visualizing at the moment on Oracle. Earnings VWAP is at $307 on the daily chart. I'm not saying we're gonna go all the way down there, but I have seen before where stocks actually could break this low, go into 307, and then bounce right off of 307, reclaim 312, and then trade at the low of this area for the rest of the day. I've seen those setups play out too, so just keep an eye out as where the earnings VWAP ended on the day today. It ended at $307, but on the 5-minute chart, you can see how earnings VWAP is actually the bottom on the day for the stock. This happens a lot. I think this also played out for another recent earnings name. I can't remember what stock that did the exact same move. You know, ran up all day, pulled back, and then bounced off of the earnings VWAP instead of bouncing off of the intraday VWAP. I've seen this a million times, and look what happens. It got rejected from the intraday VWAP, but it bounced off of the earnings VWAP, right? So something like this, if we pull back to 312, then I'm expecting 312, 310 to show me buying for a move back into 330s and so on. So we'll see if that sets up for an opportunity. Quickly going to put in 310 to 312 area on my watch list for a support. And then what was today's VWAP again? Today's VWAP on the daily chart around 329. So I'm just gonna round it up to 330. Pretty sure. Okay, that's 331.50 on the 5-minute chart. So anywhere between 330 to 332. What the? Not this again. Oh, that's right. I remember what happened. I remember how to fix this. How do I fix this again? Page layout. Forgot how to fix this. Customize layout. Delete that. Apply to all pages. Turn on numlock, and we're good. The 330 to 332 area is on watch as an inflection zone when it pops, and then that could also become a resistance. GME actually managed to get above the level yesterday we were talking about. I'm getting a phone call, give me a second. GME actually managed to get above the level that we were talking about yesterday, $25, but wow, it actually closed back under 25. That's not what you want to see. When I was looking at the stock today, this is what I saw. I saw it holding above 25 or around 25 for the most part of the day. What the stupid scam calls. Goddamn scam calls. This is why you do screen phone calls these days. And I know you iPhone losers don't have that feature yet, or maybe you just started to have that feature, but Google have had that feature for years. Shout out to Android once again. GME was trying to hold 25, but clearly failed and pushed back under. That makes the stock honestly not interesting for me. Yeah, they reported well. They reported growth. They have Bitcoin stash. They're trying to break out. but not managing to stay above 25 is not a trade for me. So that's still the inflection level. I'm gonna put it as an orange priority because honestly I don't care about the stock. Maybe even downgrade it to a blue priority because I don't care about the stock. But if it does manage to get back above 25 and show me buying above 25, there could be a hidden sneaky trade to 26. But your risk is basically 24. If you're swinging the trade, that is, right? If you're going long 25, your stop is 24, and your risk and your reward is 26. So you're basically getting a 1:1 trade out of it. I don't think that's ever a valuable trade. When you're risking 1 unit to get 1 unit of reward, that is never a good trading setup, right? So I'm not really interested in doing something like that at all. AVAV actually managed to hold that low as we were talking about it yesterday. I mentioned how this is looked as a failed breakdown, and that actually played out like that. Managed to get back above this week's high from Monday. Bullish volume coming back in. The report wasn't really negative, so it makes sense that the stock is trying to go back up north. But you know, I've traded the stock before. The volume dies down very quickly, liquidity dries up, so I'm not really sure if I want to keep an eye on this name for the day trade basket. For the swing trade, I mean, this is kind of a good thing. You know, they're reclaiming the moving averages. Once they reclaim the 50-day moving average, that makes the stock a lot better. So I think I'm gonna just let it do its thing for a while, right? I want to see if it can get above 257. I want to see if it can reclaim the 50-day moving average. If it starts to hold in this area, then I can get long on the dips and then risk like maybe $2-3. But if I'm going long on the breakout here, I'll have to risk what, $10-15? That's not something that I want to be interested in. So let it do its thing. Either it's holding up in this area to the upside, or it's holding in this area. If it's holding in this area, then the breakout is much better instead of taking the breakout here. So I think AVAV, you just gotta let it mature a little bit. Also in the blue category, not in the not important category, but it is in the category that, you know, I'm not keeping a focus on it right off the open. I'm not trying to deploy money right away on that trade and so on. Next stock, we want to go to maybe not TSM. We'll move TSM down to the semiconductor basket, and we'll actually go to the next earnings stock that reported last night, Rubrik. What a complete reversal. Now me getting stopped out over here doesn't look so bad, does it? So I'm actually very happy that I didn't buy any shares last night. I was a little FOMOing, thinking about buying some shares, but look at this complete, you know, reversal candle over here, now showing you that sellers are still in this area. They did not like the earnings report, and buyers who probably thought the report was good, they got shaken out, they got sold off again. They got sold off the first time, and they got sold off the second time. So at this point, the stock is dirty. You don't want to be fighting in this area anymore. They lost the battle at the 50-day moving average. So lots of question marks as to what happens in the future for Rubrik. This is one of the more recent IPOs from last year ago. Oh, okay, I thought it was 2023. 2024. So maybe, you know, the fact that we pushed down the way we did, a couple days of back and forth around $80, and then a breakdown below 80 really opens up some downside on Rubrik over here. So that makes the stock honestly a little important. I don't think this happens tomorrow, but if it does, you don't want to be missing out on it, right? So put that as a purple indicator. 79 is actually not even a level, it's just 80. 79, 83 to 80. So 79, 80 to 80 area is on watch tomorrow, throwing in an alert. God damn it, stop drawing lines. Throwing in an alert just above $80 in case the stock does push down there, and then I'll be boom, and then I'll be alerted about that one. SNPS, boy oh boy was I wrong about this one. I thought it would hold up at 200-day moving average around the $500 area. Absolutely smoked. This actually has me wondering, you know, like, Oracle missed earnings report on EPS and on revenue and went up 35%. S&PS, yes, they guided down, but they basically reported in line and they dropped 35%. You're seeing stocks go up, what, 4,000% a couple days ago, and then after that another stock went up 1,000%. I'm sure another stock went crazy today where people lost money on. Is there a liquidity issue in the market? Like, these moves are happening so violently and so volatile. Is the VIX up after the Charlie Kirk thing that played out today? Possibly the VIX going up a little bit. So, prayers to Charlie Kirk. If you guys haven't seen what's going on, I would urge you to not watch it. But if you are into gory images and videos, that is by far one of the most goriest video I've seen. Maybe not the goriest video I've seen, but it is insane to see that. Charlie Kirk, has it been announced, TH? I don't think it's been pronounced, has it? I mean, when I saw the video, yeah, I don't see how I'm gonna block my screen here because I don't want to show anything. Yeah, Charlie Kirk is passed. I see that right away as I open it. Yeah, I see that right away as I open it. Charlie Kirk is passed. That was obvious based on the video. What was done to Charlie is awful. Those are the images I'm seeing right now. That's so sad. Like, if you saw the video, he was just speaking his mind. I'm not into politics at all. I don't know politics to the level that I probably should, being a day trader, being a swing trader. But watching that video is so disheartening because he's just talking online. Sorry, he was just talking at a university, and freedom of speech is not even allowed these days. Like, if it is the liberals as they're claiming that the shooter is, like, what is wrong with the liberal minds at this point? Or if it's not the liberals, and if it's actually the Republicans who put this plant in and trying to start civil war in America, well, guess what? You're doing a damn good job. Whoever it is that decided to do this, if you hired this person, it looks like it was an older person who did it. I just don't understand what's going on in America, man. America is such a shit show. I'm sorry, but America is such a shit show. I'll be exercising my First Amendment to an annoying degree from now on. What is the First Amendment again? Is that the freedom of speech? I'm not American, so I don't have a reason to know this. I don't want to show any images. What is the First Amendment again? The freedom of speech? Yes, it is the freedom of speech. Okay. So sad. Anyways, coming back to the market, given that that event played out the way it did, possibly the market's gonna take a beating off of that. QQQ, S&P 500, IWM, Dow Jones. Market might not be strong after that for a little while. We'll see how Trump's statement comes out, how other statements comes out. I'm just trying to relate it to the market. What is even more crazy is as right after as that happened, Smith & Wesson stock started to go up. Like, what? What are we talking about here? Right as this happened, Smith & Wesson stock started to go up. I mean, it makes sense because now people are gonna want to protect themselves more. People are gonna want to own weapons and bear arms. It makes sense, 100% of it, but it's just crazy, man. It's a wild world we live in. I don't know how else to put it. Wild world. Coming back to S&PS, I was at shock more at the fact that the stock got blown out the way it did. I thought 200-day moving average would hold. Tomorrow there could be a good bottoming out action long on this. I mean, this stock is making $13 per year, guys. Is that not profitable? If it's dropping the way it did over here, that is almost a capitulatory long. Like, when's the last time the stock traded that much volume? Somewhere down here at $50? It hasn't traded that much volume in a very, very long time. It's actually also pulling back into a previous all-time high, a very, very good breakout of the previous all-time high that it dipped and it held, and now we're dipping and trying to hold that area again. So if S&PS can build some buying in this area, either the breakdown of those buyers is a trade, or buying in this area looking for that mean reversion for the day trade, for the swing trade, is the trade. So give it a couple days, wait for the sideways action, and then you can take the breakdown of the sideways, or you can start loading up in the support. Put your stop at the lows, and then look for the mean reversion back into 400, and then a breakout above 400 for a move back into the 200-day moving average, and so on. So watching the stock patiently. It is on the blue watch list at the moment, and the fact that the stock is no longer $500, $600, maybe liquidity opens up a little bit, and we see some opportunities to trade that name. Chewy. We'll see what Chewy happens. Today will be remembered for two things. Klarna assassination. Yo, too soon, TH. Shut up. That's way too soon. You can't be making these jokes already. And S&PS assassination, I guess, too, right? No, that's crazy. Yeah, S&PS, Klarna. Klarna was such a bad IPO today. My goodness. Horrible, horrible IPO. Opened at 52, dropped down to 45. The IPO price was like, what, $40? So pretty surprising move, I guess. You know, everyone was so hyped up about the IPO market. Based on how Figma moved, based on how CoreWeave moved. So they oversubscribed on this name, and that oversubscription obviously got them hurt. Very, very hurt if you didn't take profits on this one. Basically going back to the pre-IPO price range, which is $40 to $45. It was actually $35 to $37, but it got upgraded to $40. So maybe if the stock does go to 40 in the next few days, we'll see if there's a buying opportunity on Klarna. Thank you for actually mentioning that, because I don't think Klarna was on the watch list. Oh no, it is. So there we go. So watching 40, inflection level 45, and then also inflection level 50 for Klarna IPO. We'll give this one an orange. Coming back up top over here, Chewy reported earnings pre-market, got back below the 200-day moving average, and then on a pop, just rejected the 200-day and sold right back to the south side. So possibly some day two shorting opportunities could set up over here. If we get a pop into 36 and then reject 36, that could give you a move right back into low a day. So I'm watching 36, and I'm watching today's VWAP on Chewy to see how they set up for a possible day two short opportunity. Trade Desk apparently moved down, and wow, that's actually a very good breakdown on Trade Desk if you look at it. So nice clean breakdown on TTD around $50 on a pop tomorrow. If we are staying below 50 on a pop, that is your short right there. So I'm gonna put in actually two levels of inflection, which is the first is the midway point of today, 48.50, and all the way up to $50 is basically I'm expecting the stock to struggle on any pop. If we do pop and show rejection below that, I think that is your trigger to go short on Trade Desk. Billings.com or Bill Holdings Inc. breaking out a little bit, not really too interesting, still below the 200-day moving average. I mean, on the daily chart it is a breakout, but still below the 200-day moving average, and I don't even know what the catalyst is, so I'm not too interested over there. American Eagle making a move, baby. This is what I like to see. Holding the, I actually said this verbatim, word to word yesterday. It's holding the earnings anchored VWAP. This is the setup that makes usually a stock go higher, and look how it played out today. 7% to the upside. Never bet against Sydney Sweeney. The next stock that we're waiting for a blast off based on the same catalyst is CPRI, because they own Jimmy Choo on their holdings. So AEO making a run up back through $19, a high short flow, well, decent short flow, not a high short flow. So worth watching to see if there is a continuation after the most recent earnings report that they reported. I think CPRI was 2280, 2220, 2220. Okay, IREN. Oh, baby. Nice breakout above the $30, $31. It looks like it wants to continue trying to go up in the after hours. No volume in the after hours, though. But good to see that these stocks, all of them, WULF, Wolf, BITF, IREN, HUT, RIOT, everyone but Mara, basically, is blasting off at the moment. So all of these crypto miners, apparently they have signed a deal to provide power to AI companies or crypto companies or something like that. I still don't know the news. I'll be honest with you. But all of these stocks are trending to the upside. Every one of them but Mara, because Mara did not sign any deals apparently. But if there is any sympathy catch-up opportunity on these names, it would potentially be MARA for me, because it's just under the 200-day moving average. And if it wants to play sympathy catch-up, given how Bitcoin is also back above the 113,000 now, nice little bounce on Bitcoin, possibly taking MARA along with it. So if you want to include MARA, RIOT, HUT in the watch list, it's not the worst thing to do over there. So let me just quickly put these ones in there. Boom. But most important for me for the day trade and the swing trade, it's IREN, the strongest out of the bunch, the most recent breakout. Breakout started today. And maybe I shouldn't be the strongest out of the bunch, because there's other strong ones too, but the most recent breakout volume is still elevated, still above the 20-day moving average and the 30-day moving average. Things are looking good. So on a pullback and a dip, if they continue holding it, I think IREN and honestly all of these names are pretty high of a priority. So keep an eye out for those bad boys. Here comes the list of stocks that I've been talking about for what, like months now. A-Lab, A-Net, Reddit, Unity, all of them making a move back up, except for Unity actually. Reddit now a new all-time high. Very clean trade on Reddit for the day trade. If you look at it, you had the opening range breakout. You had another opening range breakout. Technically not an opening range breakout, but you had the bouncy ball breakout over here, and then you have a VWAP continuation. You have whatever the red line is, previous day high. No, that's not the previous day high. That's wrong. It needs to adjust a little bit. Maybe I need to just delete these lines, because these lines take too long to update. Like, why aren't you updating? Update. Update. Piece of shit. Indicator sucks. Garbage ass indicator. Delete. No, I'll leave it. No, we're deleting this indicator. This indicator sucks. We're gonna have to remake that indicator. Garbage piece of shit indicator. Anyways, pulled back to the after hour high, bounced off the after hour high, pulled back to the 21 EMA on the 5-minute, bounced off the 21 EMA on the 5-minute. Some good setups over here. A-Net, A-Lab, very similar charts almost. So market's good, right? Markets ripping to the upside. QQQ today sadly went to a new all-time high originally and then got sold back down, but still above the 20-day moving average. And given this whole Charlie situation, we'll see if that affects the market a little bit. We also have what'd you call it, Russia Poland thing going on. Some drone hit a house in Poland. Canada supporting Poland. Who knows what America is gonna do? Trump is basically in Putin's pocket sometimes. So if he wants to go Putin's side, and Canada wants to go Poland side, then that's basically Canada versus USA. So I'm not sure what's happening in this world right now, man. I'm just losing my mind. You know, only thing I can do is put my money to work and then pray to God that the nuclear bombs are not going off. Okay, that's the only thing I can do. Yeah, markets are fine for now. But the situation, you know, we're controlling the situation. We're not controlling. We're monitoring the situation, and the situation doesn't look too fine at all. Unity, as I mentioned earlier, a little bit of a pullback over here. A little, wow, nice pullback on Unity, but still above the 9-day moving average. SMCI had a breakout yesterday. How did you do today? Another breakout above that breakout. So SMCI bouncing off the 200-day moving average, but still getting rejected by the earnings VWAP at the moment. But more importantly, the other semiconductor names are on watch more than SMCI. That's going to be your Nvidia, ARM, AVGO actually pulled back quite a bit today. So, oh, what? I thought AVGO pulled back. AVGO blasted off today. Never mind, up 9% on AVGO. Why do I remember AVGO pulling back? Maybe I remember seeing AVGO midday getting sold off, but not really a pullback at all. Another new all-time high on AVGO, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to this stock after its earnings report. Very similar to AEO, right? Holding its earnings anchored VWAP, trading around the midpoint area of the earnings day. Blast off. American Eagle doing the very similar thing. Patterns. It's all about patterns. The stock market is not about, well, it is about buyers and sellers. I was gonna say it's not about buyers and sellers. No, it is about buyers and sellers. It's about your psychology, what you think about the stock. But all of that at the end of the day forms a pattern that's repeatable and you can see in the market again and again and again, right? Human psychologies are most of the time in a group, they're same. You might have a person or two differing, but when you have a group of things, most of the time the group is thinking the same. So that's why when they all combine like that, you'll start seeing patterns play out. Someone did a great back test on patterns. His name is Crafer on YouTube. Shout out to him. He did an amazing YouTube video about back testing traditional patterns on the stock market, and he originally, the thesis behind the video was you know, trading patterns are not real, they're garbage, they are just astrology for men. But after the back test that he did, it ended up being legitimate. You know, even in a simulated market, those things started showing up. Bad patterns, double tops, wedge breakouts, consolidation breakouts, and so on. So it just goes to show how easy it is to just spot these patterns. The hard job is to manage yourself. The hard part about trading is managing your emotions, managing the fact that you're doing this to bring money home, and if you're losing money, then you know it gets even more stressful. The best thing that someone's ever told me to extend my runway as a trader is to get a second job. Not that I have a second job, but you know, get a second job. Extend your runway as a trader. Open up the room, that way you don't have to depend on the market to pay your bills, and learn. You need, you know, a lot of screen time is needed. I've spent 5 years on the market and I'm still learning every single day. So a lot of time, screen time, actually being in the market, taking the losses, taking the win, knowing how to manage all those situations, along with recognizing patterns, recognizing you know, buyers and sellers, and learning how to read the tape and so on. That is, in a nutshell, what we're doing here, right? In a nutshell. The hard part is honestly managing yourself. Anyone can draw lines on a chart like this. I'm not doing something that's hard. I'm not doing something that's out of this world that you guys haven't previously heard about or have done or haven't done yourself. Drawing lines on the chart and just reading the chart out loud to you. This is something you can do too, right? If I can do it, you can do it. That's pretty simple right there. Coming back to the semiconductor stocks after the little rant, I don't know how I got off a tangent over there. Semiconductor stocks, you know, very, very bullish. SMH, SOXX, both of the ETFs, not indicators, both of the, well, they are indicators, but they're ETFs, are getting ready for a possible breakout. SOXX at the 52-week high and SMH at the all-time high. And if you're watching both of these go up, then most likely the whole basket, which is, where's the basket? Right here. TSM made a new all-time high today. AVGO made a new all-time high today. ARM broke out. Nvidia broke out to the north side. AMD going up to the north side. Even Micron going up to the north side. So just pick your poison. Look for a good 5-minute pattern, 5-minute setup, and trade it. Pretty simple. There's 2 IPOs today. We'll talk about this at the end of the stream, so stay tuned for that. We're actually very close to the end of the stream, so stay tuned for that. ASST blasted off after their news report yesterday. Oh wow, but completely gave back most of the move over there on ASST. Insane. Oh wow. I don't think this was tradable, but yeah, very much giving back the move from yesterday and closing at yesterday's VWAP. That's very, very surprising to me, honestly. Maybe some buying opportunities at today's low. We'll see how it sets up. Monster sell-off. Wow, still up 28%, 30% on the day, though. If we do, sorry, burping. Drank some bubbly before I went live. If we do see the stock holding above $7 to $7.50, I think there's still a long here left on ASST for us to possibly partake in for the swing trade and maybe even the day trade. We'll see how that one sets up. Baba pulling back a little bit. I should have taken profits. I didn't. Wow, Baba actually pulled back more in the after hours. Sucks to be me. Baba pulling back. Someone jinxed Baba on social media. I'm not gonna say who, but someone on social media kept boosting Baba. His name is Sigma Capital. I am gonna say who. Sigma Capital kept fucking promoting Baba, and Baba completely gave it back. Obviously, that's not how it works. I'm just being salty over here. But hey, look what did I tell you about JD? JD is not the one you want to be involved in, because if FXI pulls back, JD is gonna get slammed back down. So JD clearly not the one you want to be in. Tiger pulling back a lot more than JD though. FUTU pulling back. Baidu holding for now, but looks like Baidu could have a breakdown for a gap close coming into play. China made its run, but looks like China is taking a breather right now and slowing things down before it figures out what it wants to do next. So possible dip buy opportunities on the Chinese sector as they're pulling back at the moment. Wow, NIO pulled back too. Actually down almost 10% on the day today. Right back under the 21-day moving average and actually closed below the 21-day moving average. Not what you want to see. Am I even still long anymore? How come no one's in the chat typing a single thing? I mean, am I even live anymore? How come no one's in the chat typing a single thing? It makes me think that my streams died. So let me go quickly check if I'm even live. Looks like we are live on the YouTube still. And we're live on other platforms too. Let me go see if there's any movement on the Pump Fund chat. Nope, no movement on the Pump Fund chat. No movement on the Twitter chat either. It's like people don't want to talk. You guys don't want to talk in chat. You just want to listen to me ramble and rant all day. Come on, guys. Entertain me a little bit too. Engage with me a little bit. In fact, it helps me out if you type in chat, because it shows YouTube that you are engaging in the live streams and you're not just a random bot sitting in there and you know, it looks like I'm view botting myself. I mean, who would view bot with 3-4 viewers? But hey, stop making it look like I'm view botting, guys. Help me out a little bit. Wow, Roblox is actually slowly climbing back up over here, back above the earnings VWAP, even after the most recent reports and scandals that took place on that name. That's very surprising. EA Sports pulled back to earnings VWAP and holding very well around earnings VWAP. This might be a long here. I might have to put EA on my watch list for a swing trade. Where is Unity? Let's go put right below that EA. And I actually like the fact how it went into earnings VWAP, The earnings report move was fairly decent. Battlefield 6 is gonna come out very soon, and this looks like a failed breakdown below earnings VWAP and a reclaim of the 9-day moving average, reclaim of the 21-day moving average. The only downside about this is the average daily range. The average daily range is less than 3%. If you guys know who Kulamagi is, I think his rule is you want to have an average daily percent range of at least 3% for a day trade, for a swing trade, and this one doesn't qualify in that, so maybe less money put to work over here, but this could be a good trade for a long setup into 173 plus, and even maybe all the way back into an all-time high of 180. So keep an eye on EA Sports. Well, EA Games, Electronic Arts, not EA Sports. EA Sports is part of their business, but that's not the whole business. EA 170 area, keeping an eye on this one. A couple people in the chat messaging now. We got John Vaughn in the house. John Vaughn is asking for Nvidia and Disney. Yes, sir. I already talked about Nvidia a little bit, but you know, I'll give you a rundown again. It's the fact that semiconductor ETFs are looking very bullish at the moment. So you're just looking to buy the dips, get long on the dips, and enjoy the ride to the north side on all of these names, right? Don't try to take breakouts. Wait for the stock to pull back and then show you buying. For example, ARM at that price right there looks really good. Not only is that this consolidation range high, it's also today's midpoint area. So 149 to 148.50 on ARM looks like a great dip buy. What did I say? 148.50. 149 to 148.50 on ARM looks like a great dip buy area for a day 2 setup, right? So look for a possible dip buy here and then eventually a breakout back to the north side. Prad, when do you start now? What do you mean, when do I start? Not sure what you mean by that, Michael. Oh, you mean my stream times? I stream at 4:30 now, Michael. 4:30 p.m. instead of 8:30 p.m. So ARM looking good on a dip buy over there. AVGO broke out to a new all-time high, so watching to see if we get a dip back into the previous all-time high or today's VWAP for a dip buy opportunity. That would be you know, now you would have to reset the counter day 1, day 2, day 3. This counts as day 1 all over again. So day 2 play would be a pullback into day 1 VWAP, a bounce off of day 1 VWAP into day 2's a high a day, and so on. Simple mechanics that you don't have to stress your brain out about. Micron, not really as high of a priority as AVGO or ARM or Nvidia, but if there's a name you want to keep an eye on, I think all of these semiconductor names are equally worth watching nevertheless. Most importantly though, you want to make sure that the semiconductor ETF SMH is trading above its all-time high. Right now it's a little bit shy of its all-time high, which is 303. Once SMH is trading above 303, you can just pick your poison on any of these semiconductor names. Buy the dip and then look for the rip. Pretty simple. Buy the dip, look for the rip. Let me add SMH. Fuck you, man, this fucking piece of shit software. SMH, $303 to the upside. If we can get above that, that makes me very excited. It is almost physically impossible for the stock market to be in a bear market when the semiconductor stocks are breaking out to an all-time high, when the banking stocks are breaking out to an all-time high. I'm not sure the banking stocks are doing that. Let's go take a look at XLF ETF. I mean, that's pretty much at all-time highs, right? Above the 50-day moving average. Let's go take a look at JPM. I haven't looked at JPM in a long time. Pretty much at all-time highs, holding earnings VWAP. Whereas Goldman Sachs breaking all-time highs, held earnings VWAP very cleanly. So like, you know, this when the market, when XLF and SMH are literally breaking all-time highs over here, it's hard to be bearish on the market, but you still need to understand the current situation we are in on the macro environment, right? Russia, Poland, Russia, Ukraine, Charlie Kirk, Democrats, Republicans. What the hell is going on? Nobody knows. We talked about the China sector a little bit. I want to go away from the China sector real quick. Sorry, Disney is what John Wan wanted me to take a look at. So let's go take a look at Disney. Haven't looked at Disney in a long time. Pulling back into the earnings VWAP, it's tried to hold earnings VWAP fairly well, but what is very obvious that it did not manage to get above the 50-day moving average. So it just struggled at the 50-day moving average, but it's trying to stay above the earnings anchored VWAP. So not really an anchor VWAP pinch setup, but you have a little bit of a pinch coming into play, whereas if it breaks below this range low and then stays below this range low, possibly expecting the stock to do this. But if it's doing this, then you have a failed break low for a long, and then if it does this, then you have a easily successful break long on the dips over here. So I think Disney, just wait. It's either it goes below this like that, or it goes above this like that. Anything in between, I don't give a shit. Not worth my time. Okay. IBIT, yeah, we can talk about IBIT, John. Bitcoin actually made a move back above the 113k. It's at 114k almost now. It's a nice little breakout on Bitcoin over there, reclaiming previous ranges, still below the 50-day moving average on Bitcoin, but it's good to see that we are breaking back above the recent ranges, last week's highs and so on, and possibly starting the charge towards the all-time high again. So if Bitcoin is moving this way, naturally IBIT is going to give you a trade. There is never a reason to trade IBIT without looking at Bitcoin. You gotta have your eyes on Bitcoin. And actually, what's surprising to me right now is, look, even though Bitcoin was green on the day, Coinbase struggled, MicroStrategy struggled, Robinhood struggled. So these stocks are diverging from Bitcoin. Maybe if Bitcoin starts going back into 120k, it's hard to expect Coinbase to diverge from Bitcoin. But something in the recipe over here that's spelling trouble, red flags. So be careful on those basket of names. Maybe I need to add IREN in the crypto stocks. I'm not sure if it belongs in there or not. Going back to the watch list, last few stocks are basically large cap stocks. I'm going to ignore all of the large cap stocks other than the ones that moved today, which is basically Amazon and Apple. Tesla always on the watch list. Microsoft and Meta never on the watch list because I don't really like to day trade these names. They are on the watch list, but I don't like to day trade them, so I'm not going to waste my time talking about them. The main ones that we care about on the large cap basket is Tesla. Tesla had an ugly candle today, right? It looked like it was gonna start making that breakout run up to the north side, and then within 2 candles just gives up at almost all of that move. That sucks. But overall, I mean, is that bad? Just zoom out a little bit. Is that really that bad? When in doubt, zoom out, boys. Is that really that bad of a move to the downside today? No. So I'm still very bullish on Tesla, and once we start getting above this 350, 360 area, I want to go full port long. I want to punch as many shares as I can in my buying power capabilities and just smack that long to the north side on Tesla. The other 2 stocks that I'm interested about are Amazon and Apple. Amazon, a big move down today. I shouldn't say big, but a decent move down today. And Apple, also another decent move down today. Me being an Apple buyer, this is not good. You are now back under the 20-day moving average. You are now back under the VWAP from the Google news, and this candle is basically closing at the low a day. So for Apple, a buyer like myself, this is not good news, and I am very pissed at myself for not taking any profits on the run up into 240. So basically watching the stock go right back down and being stupid with it. Not smart at all. So watching Apple, possibly some support around 224, 223 at this recent low. 200-day moving average coming into play. This could also be the ultimate shakeout before me and Apple start to make out. What I mean by that is They're shaking out some of the bulls, some of the longs here, and then you get the golden cross. So shake them out, start holding in this area, bring the 50-day moving average up, cross it through the 200-day moving average, and then we start running the stock up to the north side. Once Apple starts going on that trajectory to the all-time high, and Tesla starts going on that trajectory to the all-time high, I mean, this market is going to blast to the north side. So watching all of that, and I think that's pretty much all she wrote for today's watch list. You know, I don't have other important names out there to talk about. I think I've talked about, for the most part, all important names that I've been keeping an eye on for the past few weeks. My BITF is a little important for me, so we'll mark that one. We have pretty good stocks on the watch list for tomorrow, so watching for some good opportunities. If you guys want me to throw any other names in there, please do it so now. Otherwise, you know, you might catch me going offline in the next few minutes. Let's quickly go away from that page. I don't want to show anything on stream that people don't want to see. It's not it's horrible. It's horrible. I want to show you guys the earnings board. Today's earnings board after hours was actually very dead, at least dead to me. So I'm not really interested in any of these names over here. ZENV, very low volume. Looks like it did pop up 14%. I don't even know what the hell that company is. LSAK. What is LSAK? Let's take a look at this. $4 name, no move after hours. OXM, Oxford Industries. Are you a real stock? You're a $40 stock trading 400,000 shares on a 30-day average. You're not a real stock. However, you did make a real move after hours, a 14% pop back into this range high. Maybe something over here to keep an eye on Oxford. CULP, another earnings name after hours. What's going on with CULP? Nothing's going on with CULP. Look at the volume over here on the 30-day average. I mean, what in the world? And VNCE, Vince. Is that Vince McMahon? I'm joking. VNCE, not sure what this company is either. Apparel, footwear. No good volume at all, but this stock is up fucking 100% after hours. Look at the volume spike after hours. This might be a name to keep on watch, and actually might be a name that we're gonna dive into right now. Look at that beautiful move, adding it to the after hour watch list. And also a couple stocks that we might need to add to the watch list will be Kroger. Didn't take a look at the pre-market watch list at all. That's my fault. So let me just go here real quick. Add above, VNCE, Kroger, and obviously VNCE going up 75% on the earnings report warrants us to read the report. So let me quickly open up Benzinga. Shout out to Benzinga for sponsoring the... Hello? Oh, there you go. Shout out to Benzinga for sponsoring the earnings segment. The link for Benzinga is down below in the description. Please do click on it if you want to get 10% off. Quickly pull up Benzinga over here to load up VNCE's earnings report and see why exactly did the stock go up the way it did. Okay, awesome. You don't want to give me a proper report. That's great. VNCE reported 0.93 per share, which beat analyst consensus of negative 0.08. So wow, almost, oh, that's a monster beat. That's a crazy beat, 1,000% beat on EPS. This is a 1.7k% beat on earnings from positive 0.05 per share same period last year. So they're turning a corner over here, huh? The company reported quarterly sales of 73 million, which beat analyst estimates of 72 million. That's a decent beat, not a big beat, but okay beat on the estimates. And from year to year, however, they didn't actually grow a lot on the revenue side, but EPS growth on a year-to-year is insane. Vince Holdings sees Q3 net sales up 3% year-over-year. Vince Holdings shares are trading higher in the after hours. What exactly does this company own? What apparel are they, and what exactly do they own? So let me quickly go over here. VNCE stock, and what exactly are you? Apparel. Is the brand VNCE, or do they own other luxury brands like Tommy Hilfiger or whatever? Vince reportedly posted signs of improved. Okay, we kind of know that. What brands do they own? Vince reportedly posted signs of improved. Okay, we kind of know that. What brands do they own? Authentic Brands? Is Authentic Brands theirs? Authentic Brands? Owns and operates only the Vince brand following its divestiture of other what the does that mean? You know, divestiture of other fashion labels in recent years, focused on luxury apparel. So that's their own brand. Other brands that they might own now or previously owned: Rebecca Taylor, Parker. So I guess Vince is its own brand, maybe a female brand. That's why I've never heard about it before. It looks like they have men's stuff, men's apparel in there too. I've never heard of this brand. Maybe not as luxury in that case, because I usually know all luxury brands out there, or most luxury brands out there. I'm a little bougie, so it's surprising to me that I haven't heard this company at all. But hey, only thing that matters is the growth that the company is reporting. Monster growth on EPS, turning the book, going up 10% per share, basically just showing you that they are now profitable, right? Is this a recent IPO? Not a recent IPO at all. 2014 IPO. Did you have any stock splits on the way down? Yes, one stock split there. Only one stock split. Yes, one stock split there. Okay, that makes things actually a little interesting. Only one stock split. So this is the stock's pre-stock split high. Sorry, post-stock split high. So this is the stock's pre-stock split high. And then the next high that I might be interested in as a resistance zone is somewhere here. I'm just gonna be safe and throw a line over there for the near future if that level wants to come into play ever. This is very surprising. So we're actually trading at the low of these levels right now. That is very interesting. So we're actually trading at the low of those levels right now. Double bottom, pre-split bottom, post-split bottom, broke down, and now reclaiming the pre and the post split bottom over here. That makes the stock very interesting, actually. OCTO actually played out this way. Oh damn, thank you for letting me know. Discord blocking the screen. Thank you, Yilmaz, appreciate that. This is you know, Vince is actually very interesting. So let me zoom out over here again. So these are the couple highs that I'm watching, which I think will come into play, you know, somewhere down the line. We don't have to worry about that. But Vince, after that earnings report beat on EPS, we're actually trading at this pre-split low, which happens to be this post-split low. So notice how the pre-split low matching the post-split low eventually broke below that, traded around that a little bit, and now trying to reclaim it. So that $3 area, in my opinion, is very important. $2.80 to $3 is quite a bit important for tomorrow. If we continue to stay above that, you might just see fireworks on this name. I might even buy some shares around $3 if I can, to look for you know, a big blast off. Because realistically, your stop is what, 150? I might even try to buy some shares right now, Chad. If I'm being honest. Because realistically, your stop is what, 150? I might even try to buy some shares right now, Chad. If I'm being honest. I mean, that is a monster beat. I wish I was not being ignorant and dismissing the earnings reports tonight. I dismissed almost all earnings reports tonight, and that's my fault. You know, I dismissed them. I didn't think they were going to be worth looking at. Buy shares. Give me fills at 306. Don't front run me. If you guys are listening, don't fucking front run me. Give me fills at 306. Don't front run me. If you guys are listening, don't What is the... Where the hell is my... What is the... Where's my... One of my indicators is missing. Where the hell is my... No, did I delete that indicator? One of my indicators is missing. No, did I delete that indicator? Wait, do I have to go to the 5-minute chart to see that indicator? Did I delete it? I think I deleted it. Okay, anyways, we see over here. Average daily range is 4%. Not bad at all. I don't think I'm going to get my fills because someone's front running me over here. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Come on, give me the fill, boys. I have my order sent out now, and now we just wait to see if we can catch a fill. My stop might be even 240, and then if it goes back lower, we can think about what to do on that. So Vince looking very good for the day and for the swing, and then obviously KR is your Kroger. This is going to report tomorrow pre-market, so keep an eye out for this one. Wins, did they have a call this afternoon? Yes, they will be having a call most likely right now. Stop going to your Twitter page, Prad. You're going to end up showing something you don't want to. Scary. VNCE, let's go see what their earnings report call is saying. Okay, maybe I go here. I go earnings. Is there a call tomorrow pre-market? I'm not seeing anything over here on Perplexity. Not seeing anything over here on Perplexity. Huh. Is this live? Or is this done? I'm guessing this is over with. Okay, let's continue reading a couple more. Q2 sales were at the high end of the expectation with profitability far expecting guidance. Total net sales decreased by 1.3% year to year, while direct to consumer segment grew by 5.5%. Gross margin improved. Now it's at 320 after hours. So whoever front run me, I hate you. Whoever's front running me, I hate you. So whoever front run me, I hate you. They don't want to give me the fills. Anyways, coming back up from for gross margin improved. What else is going on over here? Tariff mitigation strategies are expected to reduce incremental tariff impact by approximately 50% for Q3 guidance to be flat to up. Okay, maybe I don't want to buy the shares anymore. Approximately 10 to 15%. I mean, the EPS beat is monster. That is technically an episodic pivot after that EPS beat. Look at the stock now ramping 325. 10 million shares traded on the day today, whereas the average volume the stock trades is like 400,000 shares. So pretty important move over here. I would love to buy the $3 area. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Sadly not. There it goes. There it goes. Already bought VNCE before you at 315, still climbing. There it goes. There it goes. Already bought VNCE before you at 315, still climbing. I hate you. Stop front running me. God damn it. 315 is not a bad price. I was being a little. I hate you. Stop front running me. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say what I was being. You guys can insert terminology here. I was being a little. You know what? And yeah, a little cheap. There we go. We'll insert that terminology instead of being. Instead of bringing in any other terminologies. Looking good. The report looks good to me. Not like a banger report. Let's ask. Let's ask. The report looks good to me. Not like a banger report. Let's ask. Let's ask. Okay, nice little pullback there, 311 pullback. But while this is doing this, We talked about the IPOs for tomorrow. Let's quickly go to we talked about the earnings for tomorrow. Let's quickly go to the IPO. Last but not least, there is one good IPO tomorrow to keep an eye out for, and that is Figure Technologies. If I remember correctly, they are also in the Bitcoin world. Yes, blockchain world, Bitcoin world. They're building the capital markets futures on blockchain. So basically, stock market on the blockchain. I think that's what they mean by that. And good employee count. It's a legitimate company. It's not a BS company. They are profitable. They are not. They don't have a PE ratio. So they do. 71 PE is actually not bad. Klarna 4,000 PE. Okay, it makes sense why that stock got sold off. This one 71 PE, expected to open around $20 to $22, possibly opening around, I want to say, 35 to 40. Let's actually go see what their private trading number is. Figure AI. Is this it? No, it's Figure Technologies. So Figure Technologies. Is this it? You're telling me they were priced in at $6. I guess their most recent funding was priced in at $6 per share, but you can see how their highest pricing in was at $20 per share, and hence you're seeing that the stock is expected to IPO around that price point. Okay, that makes sense to me. 62% growth from 23 to 24 on the revenue side. So a growing company. They have a PE. They're profitable, and it's another blockchain company. So what more to say on that side? Looks like VNCE pulled back to 311, and I didn't get filled, and it's just gonna keep going up without me. No, I should have moved my order to 311. I was debating it. I should have just moved my order to 311, man. That is so annoying. I should have moved my order to 311. I was debating it. I should have just moved my order to 311. Hold up, what's going on over here? Oh, open door. Is open door blasting off? Hold up, what's going on over here? Is this after hours open door? Oh, open door. Is open door blasting off? Is this after hours open door? Open doors blasting off. Eric Jackson. Open door announces previous COO of Shopify as the CEO. That's the news over there for Open Door. Guess what? Now we have another stock to add to the goddamn watch list. Yay! Never not enough names. More names. Open Door is now on the watch list for tomorrow. CEO change coming in. And we already looked at Vince, so we got to go back over here to keep an eye out for... Stop going there. To see what is this considered an episodic pivot? Just give me the summary. It doesn't. To see what is this considered an episodic pivot? Just hey, there we go. It doesn't. Well, I'm telling you what, it's for sure more than 10%, so that does count as a EP if that's the textbook definition. And Vince, come on, man, why didn't you give me some shares? I'm gonna have to cry about this off stream. I won't cry about it with you guys over here. 350 now. Oh my, okay, maybe I will cry about it with you guys a little bit. Order at 311 on what? On VNCE. I should have just bought it at 311 when it pulled back and dipped, but I was being a little stubborn about it. I think buying the stock around $3 is not a bad call at all. So the risk to reward on the stock, buying at 3 for an eventual swing trade is actually a very, very big trade opportunity. So I'm just gonna be patient. I'm not gonna buy above 350. Anywhere closer to $3 I'm okay with. If it wants to go without me, I can buy the day after, I can buy the next week at a higher price, at a better setup. So I'm not gonna FOMO over here. I'm just gonna be patient. At a higher price. Who the hell is this? I'm not gonna FOMO over here. I'm just gonna be patient. I'm just gonna be patient and see what happens on the stock. Okay, so last but not least would be the economic calendar. Econ calendar. Tomorrow we have one major economic event, and that would be the CPI. The CPI is probably one of the most important econ data when it comes to fighting inflation and so on. Obviously, there's other data points, jobless claims, PPIs, this. But CPI is one of the most important ones. If this one comes out good, I think you can expect the market to start going up higher, and again, will be a lot of fun. Prad, you speaking about buying Vince at 311? Yes, sir, Michael Anthony. Am I not speaking properly, or am I speaking too fast? Because I said that like 7 times now. Let me know if I'm speaking too fast for you guys sometimes. Anyways, core CPI 8:30 tomorrow. You have the 30-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. You also have the initial jobless claims at 8:30, and then the Fed balance sheet after the market close. So pretty active economic data, pretty active IPO week, pretty active small cap stock. Stop clicking on that goddamn link. Pretty active small cap stocks going off at the moment. Circle, you said Circle, so let's go do that. Circle, do you have it? Circle, do it have a support point? What does that mean? Circle is not, I don't think there's a trade here. Do it have a support point? I'm not sure what that means. You talk fast. I do talk fast. Okay, I'll try to slow it down for the future, but when I get excited, yes, I do tend to get very quick with it. Did any GG go up? No. Then why? Breaking Trump. What is this? Did any GG go up? No. Then why? Breaking Trump. What is this? Okay. Anyways, coming back to you guys over here, I don't really see anything else to talk on besides the fact that I think, you know, previous IPOs are still worth looking at. CoreWeave, Figma, bullish. Figma looks like it wants to break that $50 area. That looks very juicy when that happens. So you're probably putting an alert on that one over here. 50-50 on Figma. You don't want to miss that one, boys. So set an alert for whenever that breaks. 50-50 on Figma. You don't want to miss that one, boys. So set an alert for whenever that breaks. And that's basically the stream for tonight. That's basically the stream for tonight. That's almost an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I think that's good. I'm gonna go take a quick little break, chill out for a bit, and then do my homework, journal my stocks that I need to journal, and then walk my doggo because it's still too hot. You guys see the sun peeking through the window over there. Still too hot outside. Not gonna walk the doggo now, but he'll get a walk later on. Thank you for watching me as always, guys. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you are interested in using the software that I use to day trade, you can get discounts on those softwares by checking out the links below in the description. And right up here are my social media links. I'm gonna post this link really quick in all of my streams. Please do go check out all of the links over there, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the final stream of the week, 4:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday. Go make some money. Peace.
Thank you.